What's going on, everybody? Sorry if you can hear my daughter in the background, but this is going to be a pretty quick video. I wanted to go into Cleanspark, Bitcoin, and quickly mention Litecoin here at the end. Now, one thing you might notice today in the market is Bitcoin is pulling back a bit while Cleanspark is having another nice day. I'm going to go over my thoughts over the coming days, what we're going to see. We do have some recent things to go over. Now let's get right into this video. Now first off, just glancing at Bitcoin, we are pulling down from 30,000. We're now in the 29s. And just looking at this pattern, I do think we're going to test this lower support line on this pattern. Now either we're going to bounce off of it right here in the $29,000 area, or we're going to break it and we're going to test the 50 MA. That's the next thing I'm looking for. But to me, at this point in the Bitcoin cycle, it is a clear buy on any pullbacks. But let me know what you guys are thinking about Bitcoin lately. Do you think we're going to pull back to the 15s? Or do you think we're just going to have a dip and then continue higher? Always curious about your opinions. Next up, let's look over Cleanspark and then we'll end it with Litecoin. And you'll notice with Cleanspark, while Bitcoin is having a 3% down day, Cleanspark's enjoying right now, as of this upload, a 5% up day. And if you've been watching this stock, you'll see that it's been absolutely running. Only about 7 days ago, this was right around half in price. So this has nearly done a double up over the last week or so. And while I do believe that over the mid to long term, Cleanspark will definitely go higher, I'm uncertain of the short term. One thing I wanted to show you here is, while yes, we are bullish, we have a lot of volume coming in. We have, for the first time in a long time, seen Cleanspark's share price over the 200 MA. And if we don't pull back dramatically, we can very likely see a golden cross coming up very soon here, where the 50 flips the 200. Now, where I'm a bit concerned here on Cleanspark is we are extremely overbought on the RSI. And to find an RSI this overbought on Cleanspark, you'd have to go back into 2021 during the last peak here. Right at the peak when Cleanspark was in the 20s. It became quite overbought here and it fell dramatically. And another time we can go back and see this much of an overbought RSI is back at Cleanspark's all-time high in the 40s. So just tread carefully, guys. While I think it's a clear buy looking at the long term, I do think short term we can see a pullback, and it really wouldn't be all that surprising with how much we've ran over just the last week. And I also wanted to mention this recent news here going over a pretty large buy of some in the money puts at a $5 strike. This is about a $150,000 purchase. So someone thinks that Cleanspark isn't going to be going over $5 a share by April 21, and they do expect a pullback. When looking at options, in the money contracts are definitely a safer bet, but for this contract to make them money, this stock does have to drop. So we may see a little bit of a pullback over the next 7 days or so. And just looking at the technicals, I would not at all be surprised to see a little bit of a cool down before we blast higher. And I will leave this article down below for you, but it basically goes into Cleanspark very briefly, and it goes over Cleanspark's price to sales compared to their industry, which this article puts into software instead of just looking at Bitcoin miners. But it says here that Cleanspark's price to sales ratio of 2.6 times might make it look like a buy compared to the software industry in the US, where about half of the companies have price to sales of 4.4 times, and even price to sales of 10 times are quite common. And long story short, they basically say this is a bit high risk because it's not profitable, but we do have massively growing revenue. And as for the outlook, analysts expect 106% revenue growth, while the rest of the industry is forecast to only grow by about 13%. But the main issue here that most of these articles bring up is, while yes, looking at a lot of metrics, Cleanspark is extremely undervalued, but there are some hurdles they have to cross. We definitely have the potential for dilution until we get to profitable quarters, which I do expect to be towards the end of this year. But I am very excited for Cleanspark over the mid to long term, and I do expect upcoming earnings are going to be looking a lot better and a lot better. And this quarter we're in is going to be by far a huge record-breaking quarter, and the last quarter, January, February, March, we may see a record-breaking quarter. The type of revenue we saw when Bitcoin was in the $50,000 to $60,000 area. So to me, that says a lot about how much this company has actually grown. And when Bitcoin does go back to its previous highs, Cleanspark will be seeing insane revenue. I'm talking $100 million and up. But what do you guys think about that? Let me know. I did want to quickly mention Litecoin. And looking at Litecoin, I'm taking any pulls under $100 as a great buying opportunity. And I did actually add to a little bit of my Litecoin here recently. And this is one coin that actually saw a bull market a little bit earlier than a lot of the others. Litecoin has actually been in a bull market rallying since right around summer, from around the 40s to now almost $100. And we do have a breakout level to watch. If we can break $105, I think Litecoin can continue to rally. And one thing that I did want to mention to you guys is Litecoin's halving comes a lot sooner than Bitcoin's. And what you see with Litecoin is different than what you see with Bitcoin. Typically, you have a sell-off after the halving, whereas Bitcoin, you see a rally after the halving. So I do think over the next couple of months, Litecoin is going to try to price in the halving, and then it's going to be the buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. But I'm taking advantage of it, and I do think over the next 3 months or so, we are going to see a rally on Litecoin, and I do expect it to be a lot higher in price than we are currently, and I think it's a great time to buy. The technicals to me look bullish. We're in a nice upward trend. We did see our golden cross just a few months ago, and I do expect Litecoin to give pretty good returns over the next couple of months. But what say you about Bitcoin, Cleanspark, and Litecoin? Let me know down below in the comments. Thanks as always, guys. Consider hitting the like, subscribe, ring the notification if you like these videos, and I'll catch you later.